Hello, and welcome to this developer interview for Leaving the Tide. Leaving the Tide is a final year project game developed at UOW Malaysia by Isopod Studio. In this interview, we will be asking some questions related to the development of the game with two of its lead developers, Ivy Rose, the lead designer, and Jane Lau, the lead artist. So, where did the idea for Leaving the Tide come from?
Living the Tide, the game, the whole game, the concept of the game actually came from this one small game that you can find on itch.io, and it's called Goodbye Doggy. So Goodbye Doggy is a game about like a very short puzzle game about a dog that's dead, and then everyone that you know, the your owner, the parents and stuff, they're kind of like sad and depressed, and the dog helps them to be don't sad anymore. Basically, that's like the whole idea where Living the Tide actually came from.
Secondly, where did you guys draw additional inspiration from when working on the game? So when you were coming up with new ideas, what did you look to help kickstart the creative concept?
Initially we weren't very sure like what the setting is. All we had was the theme of like moving on from our loved ones. I guess we wanted a more culturally rooted game. We wanted to set our game in Malaysia, and then we thought maybe a kampong setting would be good to showcase the Malaysian culture. And then we wanted like a unique kampong setting for our game. So we did a lot of research for it, and we ended up settling on like a seaside village. You want to talk about more research?
Yeah, so what were some of the things that you guys did to research into that? Like Mr. Shen mentioned, you guys went on a beach trip.
Not really a beach trip. When we first presented our game, the lecturers spotted a lot of like inaccuracies because one of them was actually from a seaside village. So he
Right.
mentioned that a lot of activities that we mentioned in our game isn't really the kind of activities that the seaside kids would do. So we decided to go to a nearby fishing village to see how the villagers live. Then we went to Pulau Ketam. So we took a
Mm.
boat. It was like a half an hour boat ride to that island. And then we saw like the fishermen, we saw the fish farm, and then how the kids had to travel back and forth or like on a boat every day. And then we saw how the houses were arranged and how the villagers lived their everyday lives.
So during development, what were some of the challenges or issues that you guys faced, and how did you guys overcome those?
I guess our main challenges was that our ideas keep changing again and again. At first we have like, oh, we have this set of puzzles that we want to make for this game, and then somehow it feels like it doesn't fit anymore because some of the lecturers give us feedbacks, and then like we have a mentor, like our own mentor, and then we also have like the side mentor, and then I guess both mentors ideas are like very different. If we don't really follow their ideas, but it's just that it's kind of hard to solidify our own idea because they're both have their own thinking of our game.
Very contradicting ideas.
Yeah, contradicting ideas. Yeah, that's the main challenge basically, to have like a solid idea, to have the idea from the beginning to stay there as your own. Because in the end, everything's gonna change, and then at the end of like our project, right, everything feels different from what we initially thought we wanted, and then somehow at that point of the game, it feels like we're making a different type of game or something.
Okay, this is the last question, and I guess both of you guys can take turns answering this one.
Mm.
Looking back on it, does the project have any personal significance to you? And if so, in what way?
I guess we had a lot of creative freedom with this game
Mm.
because for our previous like GBSs, we had like a lot of requirements to follow. Then for this one, we get to choose what kind of game we wanted. Like even
Mm.
like the story, the play style to the art style. And we get to experiment with a lot of things that we couldn't before. Like using Unreal Engine, doing all the hand painted textures. So it feels like a more personal project.
So for my side, it's because I'm the main designer for this whole game. I get to the whole plot of the game kinda is something that I wanted to talk about, to tell a story about childhood memory, about kids. Basically, I wanted to tell a story about children and stuff because that's kind of like the genres that I wanted to make. And then I agree with what Jane says about like, oh, we get to experiment with a lot of stuff, like the art style or like mini games that we can add in. This project also helps me understand like what should I consider, like is the programmer able to do this, or are the artists not doing too much of work or something like that. Like that helped me grow as a game developer so much. Yeah.
Thank you for your insights in the development process for the game. I hope those that watched it found it interesting. If you want to check out Leaving the Tide, it is currently available on itch.io as a free download. And with that, the interview has concluded. Thank you very much to the developers, and thank you very much for watching.